and welcome to the Big Think Dimension, the only gaming podcast for the modern giga-brained gamer. I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and with me, as always, are our online co-hosts, KZ Excellent from kzexcellent.com.
Names sound better with lisps.
And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
Drinking green Gatorade and calling it Mako.
And Bob.
Hey, guys.
From GigaBoots.
Bob falling into the live stream.
Ecto Cooler out. Mako in. Someone's screaming Mako at their fucking podcast app right now. They're in a fucking Wendy's and they're screaming Mako.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes for them.
We'll see who history proves right. I do like where Spaceman Spiff on Twitter was like, hey, Dan, we can compromise. Her name should just be Aerith when Cloud says it because he has a lisp. That's how we're going to compromise the two Aerith versus Aerith things in this one remake. I love that solution.
What about everyone else? Other people have to talk to her.
Oh, everyone else calls her Aerith, but only Cloud calls her Aerith because he has a lisp.
It'd be the funniest thing in the world if there's just a menu option at the start and it's an alternate audio track.
I would fucking lose my mind. Especially if, like, one of them was done way more roughly than the other, so that way they go to say their name, they're like, hey, and then the tone changes completely for Aerith or Aerith, like either one, you just hear the gears shift.
Oh my god, this is awful.
The one where it's Eris is just more bankrupt because they're like, whatever, this is just our optional one.
So it's like when a sitcom mentions like who's playing in the Super Bowl, so like a character holds a cup over their mouth and goes, Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, it's that moment, but it's every
Welcome
time.
to the Big Think Dimension.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Curse Content Club.
Oh no!
The only gaming podcast where we stab ourselves. How are you guys doing?
The summer
How's
of
everything
awesome.
going? Stop saying the summer of awesome. We need to talk about what we've been up to for the last week. I don't... Dying? A number of technical minutia consuming my life itself that has all been solved now, but my life isn't quite back on track. That's about all I can say. But we're how many videos into fucking Castlemania? About 20? We're like recorded at least. We're about 20 or so.
Like at least 10?
Yeah, it's been one a day. So it's 9 so far. At some point pretty soon it's going to kick to 2 a day.
Because we're insane, I guess.
And you're gonna die.
And we have 44 videos to get out this month. But I actually have something very special to announce here.
Ooh.
Dan just leaves.
See ya!
Classic Dan.
Dropping that mic like he do. Okay, here we go. I got it. I'm gonna open it live. Hopefully this is all right.
Oh no, he's about to fire us.
Uh-oh.
We added a game to Castlemania, and it came in the mail today because of viewer request. It is Remake TV World's FighterZ, where you can play as
I've heard of this.
Bomberman, the kid from Beyblade, Master Higgins, Optimus Prime, or Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
This sounds pretty good.
Also, there's that character from Bloody Roar. It's got the wolf from Bloody Roar.
This is insane.
Yeah, no.
It sounds fake. No matter how much he says it is.
And I'm holding it too. I'm holding the Japanese import for the GameCube. So it is our intention to get a video of that out in the next couple weeks. That thing looks like trash. I am embarrassed by spending money on it. But hey, it's all in the name of being comprehensive.
That game has to be absolutely abysmal.
What was it? Bob was like, Dan, are you saying you spent money on the Belmont flavored version of DON? And I was like, Bob, DON is a better game than this. And that's when he got scared.
That's exactly the comparison I was going to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really strict exact point for a bad fighting game.
Yeah. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is a different thing than those two. Those two are these two games might as well be made by the same people. They're so similarly awful, but this one's worse.
We need Onimusha Blade Warriors to come back.
Worse than Battle Stadium Dawn.
Yeah.
That's fucking dire.
Based on the videos I watched, yes, vastly worse than Battle Stadium Dawn. But hey, maybe I need to go back and play DON again sometime soon.
Is it better than Balls 3D?
Yeah. Basically everything is. Don't listen to Dr. Aggro. That guy really likes Balls 3D and will get mad when that game is not actually good.
It's the Ratchet Deadlock to fighting games.
You stop that.
It's okay, he doesn't listen. I'm safe.
No, he does listen.
No!
Yesterday when we got him over to record, what was it, Castlevania Symphony of the Night PS1 version as Alucard and Castlevania 64. Notice how many hot modifiers I had to put on that video. Wonder why we have 44 videos this month. Anyways, he goes, I was listening to Big Think and I was really irritated by something and I meant to bring it up and I'm not sure what it was. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you know you listened to the Big Think dimension when you were just vaguely angry at something that you have now forgotten because it was petty.
Vaguely angry.
It's
The
just
Big Think dimension story.
Did he remember?
No, I don't
By
think
the
he
end of
did.
it? Okay, good.
We got him.
We got him. Joke's on you, asshole. Other than that, right before this podcast, I drank a smoothie from Smoothie King with almond milk in it, which was disgusting and basically tasted like they made a perfectly fine smoothie and then stuck the fucking cup to fill the rest of it in a fucking high school fountain. It is disgusting tasting, and the fact it costs extra is a crime. I'm sorry, I'm lactose intolerant. Stop pissing in my mouth.
I have to derail the podcast now. Briefly.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
That's okay. We're done with my segment, at least, for what I've been up to.
Did every high school, because mine did, was there always just one good drinking fountain and all the others were terrible?
Yeah. How that ended up the case is beyond me, but that was the case for my high school.
Yeah.
It was like one or two across the entire fucking enormous high school.
Like there's an enormous high school and every water fountain is lukewarm except for one that's actually cold.
Well, see, we had a few that were actually cold, but they were also very metal-y, except for one.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember there being any particularly good or bad one because it was all the same bad. I guess that I didn't find a good one while I was in high school.
Being a connoisseur of fountains, in this case, the water variety and not soda fountains, came to me at an early age. I was ranking.
You know like the fast, cheap, good pick two thing that people talk about for getting work done?
Yeah.
I feel like with high school water fountains, it's like cold, not metally, has water pressure so you can actually drink it. And the holy grail is finding the one that's all three. Yeah,
no, that's accurate. I think that's a pretty good chart. I think we should make that chart and people can print it up and slap it as a sticker onto the side of the fucking things. That would be amazing. Bob, what have you been up to?
The only game I played since last week was Liar Princess and the Blind Prince.
It just now occurred to me I could have talked about Castlevania 64 and I'm upset. Anyway, Bob, you go ahead.
What a shame.
I guess we could go back to that afterwards, Dan.
Yeah, sure. You talk about your thing.
It's a 2D puzzle platformer with a really neat art style. It's like all hand-drawn looking, and it plays out kind of like a storybook about this demon wolf who like wishes to become a princess so that she can help out this prince that she accidentally clawed the eyes out of.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's
this, okay.
Yeah, it's Nippon
I remember
Ichi.
seeing it.
It finally dropped to a price I was willing to pay. It dropped down to like $15 during the Golden Week sale last week. I picked it up. And it seems okay so far. It's really simple, like platforming mixed with some guiding the character or the prince around. So basically, think like a 2D version of Ico almost, because he just won't move at all unless you go hold his hand and carry him along because he can't see. And they're just simple like weight puzzles using or like placing him on things and stuff like that. The only thing I'm worried about is the last stage you got to introduced some number puzzles, which literally the first one was, oh yeah, do these multiplication problems. But it wrote them out like a riddle instead of just being like, okay, just multiply these. Like, oh, what would it be if you crossed these numbers? Like, okay, this is weird. I hope that you don't keep doing this. And the next level I started and it had another number thing I could do at the beginning. I was like, this might go bad. This is like halfway through the game. I don't know if I'm willing to go through another whole half of the game for these kind of charming moments and this awful puzzle or riddle.
A real brain twister.
So I'm hopeful for it. I really like the art style, and it's got some nice music, and the story's neat. It's about
Yeah, if I buy it, it's going to be because Akiko Shikata did the music for it. Or
Oh,
at least
cool.
she's the one who's singing the vocals, at least.
oh okay.
And like any kind of song that sounds like that, which if you've ever heard an Akiko Shikata song, you know what that means.
Do you have some other work of hers that you can reference?
All the Artinelico games, I'm pretty sure she did the vocal stuff in that. She did the vocal songs for Tales of Symphonia. She did the opening for...
Full House.
She worked on Shadow Hearts from the third one, the bad one. But the Artinelico one is the big one, because that's... Basically, if like you have a Japanese game that has like chanting, haunting vocals, that's her.
So she did Zone of the Enders too.
Yeah. God damn it. I was actually sitting there. I'm like, I'm not going to make that joke. Most
Wow.
people don't think about Zone of the Enders 2 as haunting, but it's true.
If organs and vocals are involved, she's probably involved.
That's neat. Yeah, the music is really nice. Like the art style is really nice, and the story is pretty interesting. It involves like the princess trying to figure out why the prince won't eat raw meat and stuff like that. And it seems pretty neat. I'm excited to play more of it, but hope it doesn't dive deep into these random number puzzles that are bad.
Long division.
Bob, what's wrong with number puzzles? Numblast was a great game.
It probably was.
It really was. Hey, you stop laughing, KZ. Numblast actually is a good game.
Numblast, I don't remember it pretending that was a riddle.
Number Munchers is pretty raw.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Here's the numbers. Solve them.
But yeah, that
Riddle
was
me this, solve for X.
that was all I played. Dan, do you want to tell us about Castlevania 64?
Castlevania
No!
64 is an unbelievably bad Castlevania game. The only reason it got good reviews is because N64 game reviewers have Stockholm. It is insane that anyone would give that even anywhere near a thumbs up after Symphony of the fucking Night, let alone period. Dr. Aggro.
Well, they didn't play Symphony of the Night because that's a bad Sony game from the Betrayers Konami.
Exactly.
3D's the future. 2D games are bad.
That was also another thing that came up as to why it was good, and the PS1 game was not good. Dr. Aggro had actually never seen it, though. Oh my god, you guys, he dies during the video. He just unravels as a human. He's like, this isn't a game, this is a fucking tech demo, and even that's not done. Oh god.
Ooh.
You don't even get to the Nitro, do you?
And not even close.
No, that's pretty late.
One, we didn't have a game pack, so look forward to that. Two, we start out playing as the Belmont, and the whip doesn't like targeting things.
I warned him about this before I even started, but he was dedicated to playing as the Belmont.
Incredibly.
Foolishness.
The two things I know about Castlevania 64 are the Nitro, which I think is the most notorious thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you buy too many items from the shop right before the end of the game, the shopkeeper becomes a super boss that is just a clone of death, but more difficult.
He is Satan.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I remember is like the shopkeeper like T-posing in the air shooting scythes at you.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I never actually got that boss fight.
From what I remember, you like get to a point and the shopkeeper's like, "Oh yes, you didn't read the fine print on this thing in demonic language you can't read. If you buy too many things from me, I get your soul," and then he fucks you up.
Yeah, that's an optional thing, as far as I know. Yeah, that game is unbelievably bad. The fact that anyone rags on Lament of Innocence when 64 is hanging around is beyond me. But you know, that's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's really not fine. But yeah, that's. I'm not going to talk about any of the other stuff. Our Symphony quick play, or our Symphony video for Castlevania is really good. You guys need to watch that when that comes out. At least the first time. The next 2 or 3 times, maybe not.
Are we getting aggro back for all of them?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Aggro called Symphony Monopoly, and the most bullshit move since everyone tried to call Portrait. Literally everyone. So yeah, we're gonna get him back for the Saturn and PSP versions, and I guess the Richter mode on whatever we're doing that on. But KZ, what have you been up to for the last week?
Been recovering from sickness stuff and working on the Kingdom Hearts marathon, which that's been fun. We're a couple streams into that. Today's my day off from it, since didn't have too much time today. We'll be picking that up tomorrow, which is the previous Friday this comes out, and that's about it. Not much else to say on that.
What you been up to, Mr. Feel?
I played Mega Man 3 through 6.
Oh, those are good ones.
I like 6 a lot.
I do like 6 a lot. I also like 6 a lot. I don't know why people rag on 3.
It has
The
slowed
Doc
down.
Robot levels, it has slowed. Well, it doesn't on the collection.
I like 3 more than 2.
Yeah, so do I.
That's a sinful
I
take.
like three-
You're both heathens according to the community. Ignore the fact that Bob and
It's also got the better opening theme.
Yeah, it also has better music.
3,
all
I
over
think,
it,
has
but
the best
whatever.
music in the NES. Of
I
any of the
agree.
NES Mega Mans, I think 3
But
has the
for
best
whatever,
music.
for whatever reason, that is unacceptable in the normie sphere.
Yeah, 3 through 6 are all better than 1 and 2. Like, easy.
The one thing, 4. The one thing I don't like about 3
Yeah.
is, and this is the only thing, is the checkpointing in the Doc Robot levels. Like, I like the Doc Robot levels conceptually even. Harder, busted versions of these levels is a good idea that I wish had come back.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And
I mean, the problem comes when it's like, get to the first Doc Robot and beat him in one life, and then he's Woodman and his leaf shield does 8 fucking bars, and he doesn't even lift his arms the way Woodman does when he fires it. It just flies at you with no telegraph. Fuck you, eat shit.
yeah, and you're supposed to figure out what weakness Woodman would have if he was in Mega Man 3, which is some shit some random fanboy would ask you as a question while you're live streaming, not something you should have to actually tackle in a goddamn Mega Man game.
But I don't see how people
That would never happen.
I can't see how people can bitch about the checkpointing in those levels and then not also bitch about it in 4, because every single fortress level in 4 does the same thing. You die on the boss, you go back.
That's true. It's rough.
See,
It's
I
rough.
would like 4 infinitely more if it just didn't do that shit for 8 straight levels. Because I really like the Cossack bosses, because they somehow made the Cossack bosses not feel like things Wily would build. Because he has like the ceiling boys boss.
Yeah.
Where they just waddle out across the ceiling and are really useless and you kill them really easily. Also 4 has the problem where every single boss in both fortresses is weak to the same weapon, so you just never have it. Like 6 out of those 8 bosses are weak to the ring boomerang.
Yeah, that's true.
4 in general just has like, it's just annoying. Like, it's not difficult, it's annoying. There's a difference with stuff like Dive Man constantly trying to Psycho Crusher you, or Drill Man just staying invincible under the ground for like 70% of his fight.
Yeah, I really like the levels in 4 a lot, but the bosses are fucked. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with
I like the levels all right, but it feels like 4 is when they decided each of our levels should have some unique gimmick, but like 60% of those gimmicks were terrible. Like the platforms that shoot at you as you ride them in, I forget whose level that is.
Yeah.
Or the stupid cricket platforms in Brightman stage. Or the switches in Drill Man's level.
I'm trying to remember the switches in Drill Man's level, but I can't.
You have to hit switches to make the next chunk of level appear.
I thought that was Dustman's, but yeah, I remember that gimmick.
And then Dustman has the ceiling coming down and crushing you part.
Everybody loves that.
Dustman's cool, though.
Yeah.
But I liked streaming that. I liked how everybody got mad every time that I used Toadman's weapon and said Toad on the haters.
I hate you now. So yeah, that makes sense.
No, that was
Because
that was the best Mega Man Maker thumbnail.
I would just switch to it and use it to clear a screen.
Yeah, I know. It's reminding me of the fucking thumbnail.
That's a really good thumbnail. I don't see what the problem here is.
You're like, I'm an artist.
I'm a fucking
I have a new
artist.
appreciation of 6. I always liked 6, but I have more of an appreciation for it now because even though it looks so good for an NES game.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive. I mean, it came out, like a month before X did in Japan, so...
Yeah, which I absolutely think X influenced its design a little bit because the Mr. X Fortress just looks like a Mega Man X level.
It's really good art.
6 also has the really funny thing of Wily disguises himself as Mr. X for no reason.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating and dumb.
And then when you beat Mr. X, he's like, "Oh, I'm Dr. Wily, and I built a second castle to flex on you."
Right? I think the best part, the way you need to think about it, Bob, so you don't get frustrated. The reveal there isn't that he was Mr. X was Wily. The reveal was they can't write.
It is funny to play 5 and 6 in the same stream, and people are like, "He used that boss in the last game. Is this all planned just because Dr. Wily is running out of ideas and going senile?" Because after streaming them all, people are just going like, his boss robots in the last stages are getting more and more Dr. Robotnik-esque. Like the Mr. X one that just swings back and forth and shoots things at you.
Hey, are you trying to say Dr. Robotnik might not be very smart?
Look, when it comes to he has very Looney Tunes-esque robots.
I don't Those are very serious weapons of war. I would appreciate it if you stopped calling them Looney Tunes-esque. Many lives have ended at the hand of Robotnik and his weird robot with spikes on the bottom that he tries to smash you to death with his butt.
Also, I played FighterZ. I got to the point where I have to now actually learn how to play the game in order to continue progressing up the ladder.
Yeah, no,
where it's like I'm not worse at like neutral, but when they hit me, they do like a 15-minute long combo where they use assists to continue carrying it, and it's like, well, we combo each other about the same amount, but theirs do more damage, so they win. So I'm like, well, I better learn how to do this. So I've been trying to learn how to do that. It's difficult.
Or learning is the coward's way out. You should keep your level of proficiency exactly where it is.
No.
What? It works for the weekly beating. It works for life.
I need to find like a combo video for morons, because I look at a combo video of like a Bardock combo video, and it's like, here's him keeping someone juggled in the air in the corner by himself for like 30 seconds, and I'm like, I don't understand how this is happening.
Can you break this down an idiot for me? Thank you.
I see so many of those videos, and they don't even put what buttons or notations they use in the description. I'm like, yeah, I know what that animation is. I can't do
with just notations. I have to understand the concept to be able to do it.
Yeah, I've never really progressed past, the tutorial trial stuff that they give you in the fighting game.
Like I figured out how to do vanish combo, how to combo off vanishes, and that was my big thing.
I need to learn Jiren's because his level 3 is hilarious.
His level 3 is hilarious.
I almost died when I saw that.
He punches him so hard, the ground explodes.
I also looked at Kid Goku a little bit because he came out today, the day we're recording this. I'd like to say that I'm right. My insane conspiracy theory was correct.
Mm-hmm.
He was super obviously just Kid Goku, and they were like, people like GT, let's just make his supers GT shit.
I don't think that was insane, honestly. That was just what it was going to be once we saw anything like power pole related.
I mean, that's basically what I said on this podcast.
But he has like even more, this was a Kid Goku character initially, because he has stuff like propelling himself with the Kamehameha, stuff he never came close to doing after the original series.
Right.
I think it was obvious when he had the pole.
Well, he had the pole in GT.
Yeah, he didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, he didn't
do anything.
Nobody did anything in GT.
Right, exactly.
That pedophile.
All he did was step into the Grand Tour.
I'm very happy that apparently his Super Saiyan 4 level 3 sucks, so we're never gonna have to see it.
Perfect.
Apparently the Spirit Bomb just lets you do some insane bullshit after it, while the Super Saiyan 3 does not. Super Saiyan 4 does not, so luckily I won't have to see that design very much. And that's all I played.
That's good.
Casey deleted my Toad on the Haters thumbnail, so I posted a different Mega Man Maker thumbnail in the Discord.
I found a thing to talk about for news, so I can open it with the first one, and then Phil can do the triple threat of bad news.
Sure,
Quadruple.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, that sounds like it's everyone's week, so I guess we can move on to the news? Yeah, okay.
No, that's not it. It's not the news.
I mean, I've got
We
this
have to move on.
great recipe.
We have to let
it's
go of the
something new,
past.
but also familiar.
Something new, but also familiar.
have to let go of the past and bring up the pod lords.
Oh no, Podlord's red!
The Knights of Ren are just pod lords?
The Knights of Ren are just background characters who wave as they disappear from the lore.
They wave as they give us their money for the podcast.
We'll remember you, Pod Lords. I mean, Knights of Ren.
Thank you.
You can't thank them yet, I haven't fucking said their names.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Oh, well, I guess if you say it like that, then it's fine. The Podlords for this episode of the Big Think Dimension are Not Gak, Lady Popcorn, Ely Broyles, Bam Madrigal, and Damian Francisco. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Pod Lords.
Thanks, Pod Lords.
Have you guys ever
Bam.
been to San Francisco?
So my dream for the Pod Lords is for us to eventually get one that's name is just Dan is wrong.
Feel,
I get that next month.
Feel, if we're gonna get that for anyone on this podcast, don't you think it's you?
Yeah, probably.
We need a Podlord named
But
The
see-
Real Podlords come out next year.
God damn it, you beat me to it. You mother-
People who don't like me also don't have money.
That is bold. My detractors are all peasants.
Someone has sent me screen caps of people on 4chan posting my tweets bitching about Days Gone, talking about how Deacon St. John is good, because they're mad at me for saying he's bad.
Hey, this is great because coming up, the first news story is from me, and it's about Days Gone.
Well, let's do that. Hey, KZ, what have you got to say about Days
Is
Gone?
this the statue?
So
We're gonna find out in a second.
I saw this pop up on the timeline while we were doing this, and it says Days Gone Easter egg suggests that it's really a Siphon Filter sequel,
Oh my
What?
fucking god!
in which Gabe and Leon fail to save the world.
Huh.
I was skimming through it. It's a really long thing, but it effectively goes as you can find various references to the games, and eventually, if you collect all 18 pieces of Days Gone IPCA tech, you can make Gabe Logan's taser from Siphon Filter, and it electrocutes the freakers and sets them on fire, and it does a very similar animation to the Siphon Filter game.
Kidding me? Oh my god!
So yes, Days Gone is in the Siphon Filter universe. #Filter Gang.
#filter gang.
I feel like that's for a water filter.
What? Do you not like water?
It's okay.
That's kind of what our news does. We filter out all the great news and the stuff about the people that Phil likes.
Speaking of them.
Yep.
So, it hasn't even been a full week. It hasn't
Oh,
been a
no.
fucking full week yet.
True, we recorded
Randy-
our last podcast on Saturday.
Oh my god.
Randy Pitchford putting on his 50-pound clown shoes, 20-pound clown wig, and 10-pound clown nose to train in the hyperbolic clown chamber to be on this podcast again. So David Eddings came out and did a Twitter thread where he's like, I did not want to be paid to be Claptrap. I wanted royalties that Randy Pitchford has not paid me and has not paid any Gearbox employee, because apparently Gearbox employees are paid less than industry standard, but they get royalties from the games they work on. Apparently Randy Pitchford has allegedly, according to David Eddings, Randy Pitchford has been pocketing this money. He also wanted an apology for something that happened in 2017 at GDC. Randy Pitchford assaulting him. Allegedly. This is one.
Allegedly.
So Randy Pitchford has a problem. That problem
Allegedly
is
he has a problem.
I have a friend who is not big into video games. She's an artist, so she has a decent PC, but she really plays maybe 1 or 2 games a year. And she really liked Borderlands 1 and 2. And her quote, the only things I know about Borderlands 3 is it has microtransactions and Claptrap has a new voice actor because Randy Pitchford beat the old one up.
We are in a clown world.
Speaking of clowns, Anthem. So Anthem had these things had Elysium chests, where basically you do like a daily thing. Once a day, you get a fancy chest that includes special loot. And it's basically like log on, it's like a daily quest in an MMO, basically.
Log on, watch the movie
thing.
Elysium, then get your reward. It's like an extended ad.
Yeah. And extended curse content.
Anthem is like, we're taking those out. What are you putting in to replace them? Nothing.
Okay.
We're just taking out this motivation for you to play our game.
Cool.
They're making less content.
By the way, surprising. Surely everyone in the history of humanity. EA says Anthem performed far below expectations.
Oh no!
Who would have
How?
guessed that? Jesus.
I can't believe it.
Speaking of EA's expectations, it expects Fallen Order to sell 8 million copies.
You know how bad that is, Feel? You know how bad that expectation is? I thought you were hyperbolizing. You know how somebody says, we're going to make $1 billion off of this?
Yeah,
You know
that.
how people hyperbolize in that way? They don't actually mean $1 billion. They just say it. When you said they expected to sell 8 million, I thought you were saying they expected it to sell a lot. I didn't think you were saying EA has literally gone on record saying they expect to sell 1,000 times 8,000 copies.
I think it'll do okay, but it's I do not see it hitting that. It is not.
Did you see EA's The Fucking Gall of EA? They put out that article earlier this week where it's like, releasing games the normal way doesn't work anymore. And everybody immediately jumped on because it's like, you mean the thing where you release a completed game on a single release date and it makes money, which is why Capcom has had the best year they've had like ever. They just came out and said
with its unfinished games with 18 release dates per game.
They haven't released a game normally in like half a decade at least.
Yeah, there's always those fucking start dates in their EA Access program, so you get to like play the first 8 hours.
Please consult the Zodiac chart of release dates to learn when you may play our game.
It's part of the fun. It's a game in itself.
If you're a Pisces, you get to play it 7 days before Aries.
What about Scorpio?
They don't get to play it at all. Fuck them.
No, why? I'm a Scorpio.
EA's just like that.
They still have to pay the money, though. They just don't get the game.
I just have to pay and then people play it and I don't?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I forgot to put this on the list, but I'm going to bring it up. There's a bill in Congress right now that's going to make any game, presumably targeted, and it's presumably any game with a ESRB rating of below whatever the one for adults is. Going to make loot boxes illegal, just straight up.
Oh, no. I like boxes to give me things.
You cannot have loot boxes in any game children play.
That would affect every single
once again,
EA game.
Children ruining everything once again.
Now this is very early in the legislation process. You know, if you watch Schoolhouse Rock, you know how long and thorough this is.
He's just a bill.
But yeah, this is going to happen. If not now, it's going to happen within the next couple of years, and EA is going to evaporate. The real bill's coming out
next year.
Probably, judging by how effective our government is. 2 years might be a little bit more accurate.
Oh yeah, I noticed that no one put the thing about EA Access coming to PlayStation.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
That's the thing.
That's the most important news this week. Then what? Fucking PlayStation's doing it? Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what EA Access is. Oh, it's like their pay us money to get our games thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like it's a rental service
get to go
almost.
The EA Vault.
You get to play them early, and you get to play the games in the EA Vault.
Yeah.
So it's them running a Netflix on PlayStation. It originally was just on Xbox, but
I believe it does well. That's why it was kind of a big deal that Sony didn't have it, because they weren't.
Oh, it has their sports tiles on it, so I'm sure it does okay. God knows nobody's paying for anything else.
I like Pele.
I got people adding me on my Discord asking why I haven't seen the movie The Goonies, and I need to explain myself. How the fuck do I explain that? Bob, how do you explain not having seen
You were busy watching
thing?
Channel Awesome movies.
You fucking monster.
The summer of awesome.
You actually didn't go to high school. Just tell them that.
Okay, there we go. I'll just tell them that. And I'll put a sad face next to it, and they'll believe it. At Toad, I didn't go to high school. Sad face. There we go. Solved. Okay, what was the next order of news, Mr. Field?
So Bethesda, For years, it has been a Bethesda tradition to just steal shit from mods.
Allegedly.
No, this isn't allegedly.
Oh,
Casey.
shit, never mind. My bad.
From like the crafting system and settlement building in Fallout 4 just being exactly from mods for Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 to them just stealing a story mod for a quest in one of the Fallout 4 DLCs.
Homage.
Now they're in trouble because they put out a free Elder Scrolls tabletop adventure, like a module where you like, if you're the GM, it has maps and it has, you know, descriptions of the rooms and what the encounters will be. It was just a straight up fucking copy of a Dungeons and Dragons module released in 2016. And somebody was like, hey, yo, this is a copy of the Black Road from Dungeons and Dragons Adventurers League.
Why did they even think they could get away with this?
And then Bethesda went, oops, and took it down.
Ooh, woo.
Someone noticed. Like, how do you not expect you're going to get caught?
I don't fucking know. It's so fucking bold.
It's like, it's such a similar demographic. Like, you're selling it to the same people who would be buying the other one. They would know what you're doing.
Dungeons and Dragons has never been more popular with all the fucking podcasts about it.
I feel like we're entering an Armchair Devs episode because he said Dungeons and Dragons has never been more popular.
I can hear the music.
Yeah, but I wasn't using the movie suit voice. That's what my hosting voice will be for that.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So just Bethesda, and this was free. There wasn't even a chance that like maybe nobody that buys it will buy will have bought the Dungeons and Dragons one and notice. You've maximized your chances for someone to notice your bullshit.
And I think it's even named after the same expansion they're working on for the online game. Isn't it also Elsewhere?
Yeah, I think it's just Elsewhere.
Elsewhere. I keep wanting to say it fancy, but it's just supposed to be said elsewhere, and that kills me.
Yeah.
Look, it's the same level of effort that went into Dragon Age. Do you know what Thetis, the Dragon Age setting, it means, Bob?
No.
Feta cheese?
The DAS, the Dragon Age setting.
Get me out of here. Why does anyone respect that? Good lord.
That's pretty bad.
Now, maybe Bethesda just hired some low-rent person to write this, and they're just like, I'll rip off this, turn it in, get an easy paycheck. That's what probably happened. But the fact Bethesda is hiring somebody who would do that says a lot about Bethesda. They don't like to spend money.
Allegedly.
Mysteries.
Apparently, quality assurance and people to write our shit have the same budget of nothing.
I mean, you don't need to hire that many writers. It's just an RPG.
Anyway, that was the Three Stooges plus Shemp part of the news.
Cool. I would like to talk about some breaking news.
Ooh.
They're going to make some DLC, one-time purchase, single DLC pack for Tetris 99. That is $9.99, and it adds 2 offline modes.
Ooh.
CPU battle, where you battle against 98 other CPU players, and marathon mode, where you challenge yourself to clear, the most lines and score big.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like the game a lot.
People are saying, and I want to see this come out and actually see it happen first, but people are saying that if you just buy the DLC, but you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, you should be able to play the offline modes, which just seems really weird to me, but is kind of funny.
I mean, that they're offline modes, that makes sense.
But have you ever heard of a game where it comes free with the online, but if you buy the DLC, you can play it offline?
No.
That doesn't make sense.
That sounds like you're breaking the system.
Right?
Hollow victory.
You cheated yourself and the system.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that sounds pretty cool. Also, I found out through the process of confirming this news, Bob, Tetris 99 is made by Arika?
Arika? The guys who make...
Yeah, well, we know them for Street Fighter EX3 and whatnot, and Skullomania. That's right, Arika, the center of Skullomania. Skullomania. But they also made the Grandmasters games, in case you didn't know.
Oh, man, I did not know they did that.
See, I didn't know they did this. I didn't know they did 99.
So that's cool.
That's cool.
That explains why that game does feel nice.
Yeah, it does explain that. Now, if Nintendo could make a controller with a good D-pad, that would be great. But I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Get the Brook adapter for your Xbox or PlayStation controller.
What? I'm about to. I do not like the fact that my Super NES controller doesn't have the ability to target different players. If they just use the shoulder buttons to like,
yeah, because control customization would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be really nice. Because you only need one shoulder button for hold. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck that. When is Skullomania showing up in fucking Tetris 99? That's the real question.
He replaces every Tetramino with the him-shaped Tetramino.
That would be incredible.
Don't get me excited.
I'm kind of surprised they're not doing like DLC packs for like backgrounds for the play field.
Yeah, that would have made sense too.
Maybe they'll do that as a free update at some point.
Or alternate music tracks, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, alternate music tracks makes the most sense out of everything. Also, for some reason, Microsoft released Windows Terminal, which is the thing to do command line stuff, but now it has a bunch of pretty colors. I don't know a single person who uses a command line thing and went, I need this in cyan.
What? Yeah, that seems insane.
I don't
like. I'm bringing up the command prompt. I'm getting things done.
Yeah,
I don't need
when I
cyan.
bring up command prompt, I am setting my computer to shut down after a certain number of minutes so I can render a video and not leave my computer running all day. The fact that they put color customization and theming into it is beyond comprehension for me.
This is like when a hardware company goes, not a computer hardware company, like a tool company goes, we need to get women to buy our hammer.
Yes,
The handle is pink, and there's floral patterns on the head of the hammer.
Ugh. It hurts.
Also, I'm gonna include this screen cap in the video, so if you're on YouTube, you can see it. One moment when I posted in the Discord for you guys, because this random frame I've stopped on in this video really perfectly encapsulates the moment on stage. And I'm struggling to cope one moment.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He's just like, you! Anyway, okay.
Also, I guess this is for the Game Boy theme for Tetris 99.
Oh, is that
I think is it's linked to the Maximus Cup they're doing.
Oh, that's right.
If you collect enough event points, you can just straight up unlock the Game Boy theme, which is that.
Son of a bitch.
So there are themes.
I don't like participating in events to get things. I don't like participating in events, period.
You're like, I stopped playing Overwatch.
Yeah, actually. Every time they do an event, I get...
oh no, I have to play Tetris 90, to play Tetris 99 to get the new skin for the L block.
Oh, I see.
It's a nurse.
The L block needs to look cute, darn it.
Oh my god.
So you play through that cup during the event.
Yeah.
And you get points based on your placement. If you get first, you get 100, which is enough to buy that theme. Second, it's 50. Third is 30, and then it scales down.
It's not very much. You only have to play like maybe an hour, if even that.
Yeah, you get at least 10 points if you come between 11th and 30th. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why are these lower numbers relevant to these people? Oh, they aren't winners.
Look, I don't know what's happened to that game since I left it.
I'm just thinking about your quick play when you were really bad at it.
Except for my quick play where I was really bad at it.
Good times.
Good times. Hey, I won twice in that one live stream, so...
True, there was a redemption there. You beat that other dude from YouTube.
Dan doesn't like infidelity. He has to beat people when he sees it.
Oh no!
What's the next news thing? Hey, Bob, you got some Devil May Cry 1 news?
Devil May Cry 1 only is getting ported to the Switch.
Okay.
I love Devil May Cry 1 news in 2019.
It's going to be a DLC worldwide. It won't have any physical release.
It's downloadable content.
It's downloadable content. It's download only. Whatever you want to call it.
Hell yeah.
Digital release.
A DLC of DMC.
A DLC of DMC.
That's
Holy
right.
Fuck.
But the cool thing about this is last time Itsuno was asked about Dante and Devil May Cry, he was like, well, Devil May Cry's not on the Switch or any Nintendo platform. And now here it is.
I want it.
How much is it going to be? $40?
They didn't announce, but I can't imagine it being that much. That would be insane.
It would be hilarious.
I could see 30, but that would be too much.
I can see 30 and it hurts my gullet.
I would 20 is the most they should charge for this. Like they've released it in a 3-pack
Bob,
for 40.
Bob, your number is highly inflated because you are Bob.
Oh yeah, no.
20 is way above the most they should charge.
They shouldn't charge 20. I'm
Right.
saying that's the absolute limit.
They will at least.
20, I think, is the only is the lowest possible price this will come in at. It will not be lower than 20.
Okay, I'm putting my number on 15. So I got 15, Bob's got 20, Feel's got 20.
I'll say it should be 10.
Oh, but that's not what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's going to be 15.
Right, but...
You're saying 20.
My bid is $1.
Yeah.
Price is Right rules. I'm in there.
That's not how this works. We're working off the delta.
Nothing has been more consistent than re-releases of old games costing too much on Nintendo platforms.
That fucking Street Fighter 2 during the Switch launch that was $40.
Oh, that was gross. At least that pretended to have new features. It even had a new 3D mode.
New features like a broken balance.
Yes.
That's a feature.
Oh, man.
Let's see what else I got here.
Also, the best reason in the world to not get better at fighting games, Mr. Feel, is then you might get a giant boner for Street Fighter 2 and talk about how much better it is than other fighting games. That's a problem.
Oh, no, I played that game. It's too rough for me.
I understand how important it was. I understand what it did for the genre, that it fucking invented it, basically. That game's bad.
The roughest I'll go is King of Fighters 98, which feels a hell of a lot better than Street Fighter 2. Even hyper fighting.
Also, I meant to get this out earlier, but I didn't get it out while we were talking, but while it was relevant. But the last time I tried at a fighting game was Blaze Blue. Continuum Shift's the first one. No, it's the second. Okay, yeah, Continuum Shift.
Calamity Trigger is the first one.
Yeah, Calamity's the first one. So yeah, Continuum Shift was the last time I tried at a fighting game. Please don't make me try again, Feel. You can keep winning these first to 10s, just don't make me try.
Come on, Dan, at least win more than one in those.
Hey, no. There were a lot of close matches, and that's satisfying enough. I just hate when he ends the round by eating my fucking characters, you war criminal.
My favorite part is when you're getting really focused and you're like, Bob, you're making a little noise. Can you keep it down?
No, the problem is when I'm playing and then all of a sudden all of the audio cues are getting overridden by like weird garbage fake game sounds out of his PC. And I'm like, Bob, you're killing me.
Bob is playing Devil May Cry 5 in the corner and Silver Bullet is blasting while Dan is trying to hear these fucking sound cues.
I would respect that more. It was a random Twitter video.
It was just a Twitter video of Gradius.
See, Gradius isn't a real video.
I described on Twitter, you two fighting to the death in first to 10, Dan getting owned, and me and Bob in the corner crying.
Bob, you had some other news?
Yeah, there's going to be a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus closed beta test at the end of the month.
So there was like a 40-second trailer accompanying this.
Yeah,
which did give me some good information. The cooldowns at the top have uniform icons. There seems to be 3 types, and some characters, since every character has 4, some characters have duplicates. It looks like it's going to be Smash Brothers, because they have 1 with nothing and then 3 with directions, left, up, right.
Yeah, cool.
Some look like they would do like an uppercut or like a stinger or something.
Yeah, like Catalina, the character with the rapier, has 2 of the stinger icons. So presumably she has a lot of, presumably she'll be something like, I don't know, Mitsuru in Persona 4 Arena, where she just stabs you from far away.
They're baby-proofing this game, and I'm happy. It makes me excited.
Well, they have to, because this is for people.
It's for gotcha people.
Yeah, it's for gacha players, so it's like, well, let's just make it a game that they can play, which I respect.
Signed up for the beta. I'm excited.
I don't think every fighting game does not have to be Galactic Brain levels of complexity.
Right.
In fact,
it's a good thing to have the full range represented.
In fact, now that there's games like this, make it more okay for those other games to be really complicated. Because it's like, I don't want to play a really complicated fighting game, and Smash is too simple. Well, there's this now. And a little bit more complex, there's Fighters. And then a little bit more complex than that, you have like
Balls 3D.
Stop saying
Blaze
that
Blue
name.
Tag Battle. And then a little bit more complex than that, you have Clay Fighter 64.
Okay, we need to stop Feel. It's gone off track.
Here we go. Welcome to the GigaCon featuring all the Kino boys from the Big Think Dimension. We're going to be taking a break at 3 p.m. to go to our local Golden Corral with the venue's new.
It's the new and improved.
New and improved Golden Corral. We'll come back, do our Anarchies tournament, and watch a Channel Awesome movie.
But yeah, go sign up for the beta.
That'd be the absolute funniest thing. We have to watch Kick-Ass here again at a con panel.
No.
So yeah, there's you should go download that beta, and it's time for me to get really into action game or fighting games again. I'm gonna master this baby fighting game.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm always
there's plenty
excited.
of fighting game news all around. Dragon Ball FighterZ, which we still play, got a lot popping off.
Brat.
Yeah, first, Kid Goku is out, like I mentioned. He's too big-brained for me. At least the combo videos I've seen where he's doing insane shit, bouncing people off the walls by shooting a Kamehameha behind him over and over again and then jabbing them with his pole. But
So
another
we'll
thing
need to wait
is-
for a few balance updates.
Another thing, no, don't worry, Bob. None of us can do that shit.
If Field can't do it, then Bob can.
A new quote, since they have those voiced end of match quotes.
Yeah.
Sean Schimmel apparently decided that Goku Black's voice is just different now. Because in his victory quote, when you have Kid Goku on his team, he has a new line, and it's just a different voice from every other line in the game.
What, is that British?
No, apparently it is his voice for untransformed Goku Black.
Oh, yeah, where he's like, "Rawr."
Yeah, which means that they didn't tell him what this line was for, which happened before with Xenoverse 2, where they just gave him a script and the voice direction was "do your best."
Oh, no.
This just goes back into my thing where every single issue people have with dubs is the voice direction.
Yep.
Every single one.
Well, it would be really great. I feel like it would be better to direct certain voice actors, not going to name names, if they would maybe leave their trailer and go to the set and go into the studio to record instead of demanding to do it via Skype telephone. But it's fine.
Skype's real good.
Skype is the voice actor's VoIP of choice. If you would like to sign up for Skype today, use the code GigaBoots.
Oh, no. We're sponsored by Skype? That's our first sponsor?
Next week, we're going to be sponsored by Canned Peaches.
How the fuck did we not get Nutri-Grain bars or the new and improved Golden Corral as a sponsor?
If I land Golden Corral as a sponsor, I will fucking ascend.
I will too. First them, then Cheerwine, then the world.
Then the world!
Cheerwine will just be like Dan being like, can you arrange my payment in crates of Cheerwine? Please
Yeah,
send to this address.
We were willing to accept that a few thousand subs ago. The price has gone up. No, actually, it's funny as shit. Stan was like, "Hey, I actually, I can probably talk to someone and see if you want to do a deal like that for Monster." And I'm like, "No, I really don't need that. I'm actually trying to cut back on Monster." As funny as shit as it would be to lift up a can of Monster into view on every live stream and go, "Crisp and refreshing Monster. It keeps me going." And then take a long gulp.
Then you drink it and go, Quake was a good game.
Quake was a good game. No, I can't drink the Boomer flavor of choice. I can't. It's disgusting, and I would love to believe everyone's joking when they drink it.
Hey, Bob loved it.
I did not. I accepted it.
Like death.
I got through that can.
So one of the funniest
more
things that
FighterZ
happened
news?
today
Yeah.
was we had this FighterZ news for
Yeah.
Kid Goku being out. And Microsoft did their little show thing. I think it was like Inside Xbox or whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Major Nelson's like, and make sure to pick up your character skins for Kid Goku and Janemba. So that's what our other DLC character is, I guess.
The best part
Yeah,
is
probably,
like, that got data mined out of it a while ago, so him just saying it on stream was like, dude.
I'm glad. I'm glad it's Janemba because that means we're absolutely getting season 3.
But when's PyCon?
If it had been Kefla or Roshi or somebody really cool from that is missing, like of the core cast, I'd be like, this might be the end. But since it's Janemba, we're absolutely getting a 3rd season.
I don't know. Janemba's from a fan favorite movie.
Bob, I don't understand. Why is he saying Janemba isn't cool? Janemba was great in that DMX AMV.
No, Janemba is
I couldn't
really
get
cool,
you the
but
movie.
I'm saying, like, they're not going to, with how many people are up their ass constantly about how few women are in this game, they aren't just going to end support of the game without adding the really popular female character.
I just think there's a lot of super characters they can add, so it makes sense that they do another season.
Maybe they'll go from what is probably going to be the plot when it comes back and put in Moro the Planet Eater.
He's like a goat dude. He's in the manga.
He's a goat wizard, yeah.
He's like a goat sorcerer dude who was in galactic prison for a while.
Okay, I was like, is this Turtle's new name?
Turles?
Turles. Yeah,
Is this Turtles' new name? I'm like, Turtles? I know a lot of dumbass named Dragon Ball characters, but Turtles hasn't shown up yet for me.
Look, they can put all the shitty movie jobbers in, but they have to put in Dr. Raichi and just have him summon them with his ghost machine.
All right. Whatever, man. As long as we get the world's strongest.
Yeah, I'm excited for Janemba, all things considered.
Yeah, Janemba.
I want to see his teleport effect where he's like weird techno
I want to see his Lego
teleporting.
teleporting. Teleporting on the 4K OLED.
Yeah,
Yes,
I want to see Janemba in a thing that isn't a piece of shit like that movie.
Do you have problems with Fusion Reborn?
Broly, the new Broly film, is the only good Dragon Ball movie. I am putting my fucking foot down on this.
Are we going to have to watch them for a podcast?
No, because the judgment has already been passed.
No, it's
I guess
been
we
passed.
have to.
Tree of Might is raw. It's just Devil May Cry 5.
I guess we have to watch every Dragon Ball movie now.
Yep.
How
Winter of Balls.
Maybe
do we have to compare them against the Bleach movies?
How about this? Tier? I'd be okay with replacing the Bleach tier with that, but holy shit, some dumb asshole signed us up to watch all of Bleach.
No, it's okay. This is our $2,000 one where it's the Dragon Ball movies because that's like a tenth of the content Bleach has.
And then people go, why don't you do Big Think anymore? And I'm like, because I'm too busy watching anime and making podcasts based on that.
It's raw. If we did a Dragon Ball show, I'd probably edit that. Mostly because you have no fucking time to do these.
Please look forward to the return of Dragon Ball Super.
It's all raw.
We have
you can't escape it. What other news do we have?
We have other news.
Spark the Electric Jester is coming out. 2 is coming out next week. It just came out of nowhere.
I see you went looks raw, but put a question mark.
Well, that's because the trailer has no cut that lasts more than a second and a half.
Yeah, the editing had to go fast.
So I can't. It looks like Sonic Adventure.
Wait, is it 3D?
Yeah, that's I talked to you about that a while ago, where it was like you and I thought it was so crazy that he was like, naturally, the evolution of Spark the Jester is just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I forgot that was
the official sequel and not like some spin-off game.
And I forgot that was Spark the Electric Jester. I thought that was it just went in my head as one of the random Sonic games.
Sonic fan game.
Yeah.
Weird. Why would you mistake Spark the Jester as a random Sonic fan game?
Maybe fool. Because it's not like the guy who did it made 3 Sonic fan games before Spark the Electric Jester. The last of which I just learned today, the final boss is Dark Supersonic, and because he lost his really good composer, the song for that boss is just the final boss song from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Wow. One.
So you fight Dark Supersonic while It Has to Be This Way plays.
The funniest thing is when you said
I'm getting hyped.
You said final boss fight and Sonic fan game, but the composer was lost. So my brain went, what is it? The Big Arms theme from the BioWare RPG? Because holy shit, is that song bad? Have you ever heard that song? The Big Arms theme from fucking the Sonic RPG? It is unreal. Like, it's not even the correct notes. It's like
none of those songs are the correct notes. Every single song in that game is the worst song I've ever heard.
It's true. It's so true. Insane. Look forward to Sonic Month with our Sonic Dark Brotherhood playthrough live with KZ.
Oh no! I'm hype.
This is making out before Freedom Planet 2.
Yeah,
That's kinda crazy.
That's expected. No, I would say that's expected. I mean, look at what happened between Freedom Planet 1 and 2. Like, insane ambition.
Spark the Electric Jester, the first one, was okay, but like it had clearly had way lower production values than Freedom Planet does, and even this does not appear to have very high production values. I'm sure however Freedom Planet 2 plays, it's going to look and sound incredible.
I mean, they're having audio production done by fucking Vegeta, so.
Oh, I didn't realize.
You didn't know, Bob? You have a brain disease.
No, I haven't been keeping track of anything.
We had a
Freedom
fucking
Planet.
conversation about how he went to Okratron to get audio done for the next one.
It was a while ago.
It was over a year ago. It never happened.
Yeah, it was over a year ago about Freedom Planet 2. It might as well not have happened.
Bob, if I told you the creator of Freedom Planet tragically died in a fucking volcano being sacrificed to a tribe, would you forget 1 year later? You'd be like, oh, is that where that guy went?
That's a massive thing.
That's equally insane! He's like, I'm going to make the sequel to Freedom Planet, the game where I wrote torture scenes into a Saturday morning cartoon. I want the people who actually fucking audio produced Dragon Ball to do it. This is a reasonable scale. It's okay. It's okay. Please look forward to Freedom Planet 3, a AAA game made by 1,000 employees.
Speaking of a game with 1,000 employees.
It's open world somehow.
Climb your gift towers. What's up, Bob?
Ghost Recon Breakpoint advertised that had over 1,000 people working on it.
Why would you advertise?
Oh, no. What is this?
It was announced today. It's the new Ghost Recon game, a sequel to Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Wildlands.
Oh, Cocaine World.
Yes. This one's significantly less Cocaine World. It's a 4-player co-op
This is
game.
another one of those games that I can't perceive that 700 million people will play, like Rainbow Siege and Wildlands and The Division, where I just see white static, but the financial reports say every single person on Earth is playing it, including me somehow.
I feel like Ghost Recon, I would play it long before Division because it doesn't have the MMO style guns where you can headshot guys for an hour and they don't die.
Every time I try to imagine myself playing a Ubisoft game, I'm either an alcoholic or really into weed. Like, that's the only, like, it's a necessary step in order to imagine me being really into a Ubisoft open world game.
Yeah, it's pretty dystopian.
It's a level of not giving a fuck about anything that I just can't imagine myself diving into.
But yeah, instead of like all in the deserty settings we had in Wildlands, this one's set on a tropical island with a ton of different like climates. So there's a beach, there's a forest, there's snowy mountains, there's volcanoes, there's all sorts of craziness, and you're fighting a group of enemy rival ghosts. Which are
I thought it was real ghosts.
No, sorry, Spec Ops style ghosts.
I think it's more reasonable to expect that he meant literal ghosts as opposed to EA meant literally 8 million copies.
Oh,
and
clown dimension.
And they control an army of drones. So this is this
Drones
seems
are
pretty
cool, guys.
kind of crazy. It's gonna have content updates every 4 months. It releases in October, and it has a post-launch raid. All of these bullet points wrote down because I was like, "This is insane."
Shit's gotten really weird with video games when the new Ghost Recon game is having raids.
Yeah, I was just weirded out by it. It's strange stuff.
Games as a service will continue until every single person working on one is grounded into bloody mulch.
Yeah, God.
Hey, games as a service could work for anything, for any franchise, from Mario to Castlevania.
I see you, bitch.
Don't say that, KZ.
Oh no!
Darkness.
I looked behind me and I saw Dan.
Look, guys, games as a service can be problematic, but I think Freedom Planet 3 is going to make it work.
Freedom Planet 3, The Freedom.
I'm just imagining, like, the Sonic version of The Division where you're homing attacking one guy for 15 minutes.
It's got the fucking Sonic Heroes health bar, but it just slowly depletes.
You have a spin dash, but there's also a really short stamina meter, so you spend most of your time running rather slowly.
This is so bad, guys. Carry on. I'm done talking about Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
there's no good acronym here.
Also, the weird thing about this,
Yeah.
This is like the presentation was basically like what I expect from a Ubisoft EA thing, Ubisoft E3 thing. So I have to go check. They are doing an E3 presentation this year.
Okay.
They are.
They just also did this, which was another like E3 presentation scale thing.
Look, Bob, they needed room for Ghost Recon to get all of the attention it deserves because their E3 presentation is going to be 50% Just Dance.
And 40% Skull and Bones.
And Just Dance will still come out on the Wii and sell more than every other version in 2019.
How it works, Phil. You have to accept the reality.
It's a part of the deal they made with Satan.
Satan loves to dance.
And the remaining 10% will be the CEO of Ubisoft coming out real solemn and be like, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is delayed till 2037.
They're working on it.
I mean, there's always just this gen, so you know. But hey, this next year, man.
There's no way it's real.
Hey,
that too.
video games can disappear. They're still real. They're just taking a bit. Speaking of, I got a news. What's up?
Sorry, I realized much after the fact, and I needed to get this out before we ended the podcast. All of my news will happen like this. I mentioned the Tetris 99 $9.99 DLC. And I mentioned all that, and we promoted that, and that's great. But you know what came out this week, which needs promotion much more?
What?
Puyo Puyo Champions, the properly American localized version of Puyo Puyo Esports, which is also $9.99.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
How many chains will KZ get? One.
Accurate. I'm no Puyo Puyo master. In fact, there's a fucking video on our channel of the Puyo Puyo Chad I follow on Twitter wrecking me in that game.
Ooh.
It's a good game though. Maybe look into it. It's cheap and very nice. Okay, I've done my work. What's up, KZ? You had a nice transition going, and then I was like, wait, I must confess.
He just kicks him over.
Hey, sometimes we have something really exciting to show you, but I had to take that transition and work on it for 10 months and not tell you about it. Speaking of, Code Vein has returned after 10 months of like nothing happening with it. They said back in like June or July of last year, it was sometime last year. They're like, we need to polish the gameplay and make it a lot better. So we're going to come back with it. And this week they had a bunch of content creators go out and play a new build, and they're promoting the new network test for it. This is the anime styled Dark Souls game. They did change some stuff with the combat, add a lot more story elements to it, and looks cool. I signed up for the network test. It's supposed to happen this month, they said, like toward the end.
That makes me think it might be out in it might be June or July.
But it's looking like E3 will like see one last trailer for it.
I could see E3 just being like, it's out in 2 weeks.
It's like last year. I think it was like the middle of last year. They showed like the opening for the game. Like they were very close to releasing it, but they wanted to do some more polishing for it.
Yeah,
it looks okay.
rough.
I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Bob, you watched the video on that, right?
I watched a decent chunk of them. It still looks pretty rough, but you know, it looks like it runs well now. That's something.
Running well is important.
Yeah,
That was definitely something I noticed where I went, ooh,
Frames.
running at frames. I can count them, but there's more to count this time.
Yeah.
I'm doing a thing where I'm grabbing groceries with my hands. Feel, before we go into the big chunk of news that I've written here, you got to tell me about Persona 5.
Yeah.
So they revealed more Persona 5 of the Royal stuff. A lot of vagaries, not a lot of, super hard stuff. But the big
They
thing
did a
is
5-minute long live stream last night.
are
exciting.
you sure it wasn't at the end of a 6-hour variety show and everybody's just stabbing themselves because they stayed up all night for this?
Dude, I thought it, but they're actually doing a thing in Japan where they're like, Morgana will narrate this thing of gameplay, and it was just a 5-minute stream. They cut the bullshit.
They learned.
Yeah, they learned. I was very excited about it. The main theme was like in the countdown, so I get to hear a clean version of the theme song they use for the trailers.
So the big thing is
Very pleased.
they're just like, this is the most content we've had in a re-release. There's a lot more than Persona 4 Golden. which makes sense because this is going to be like 40 to 50% of the game in terms of like days added.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They said there are more confidants we have not seen yet. So there's more than just Le Counselor and Kasumi, the new thief girl. So I don't even know who they could be. They must be new characters, because I'm trying to think if there's any kind of character other than the villains. There isn't really any characters that we don't have like a social link with. Like, it's not like Persona 4 Golden where it's like you get a social. Well, they did a social link with the villain in Persona 4 Golden, but they probably can't do it this time. So I'm curious what that's going to be. And then they showed their haha funny gay joke at the end, because of course they did.
What?
Let's not get into that.
No, wait,
Yeah.
what? No, you can't reference that and not let me know what they did.
Let's not talk about this, but I'm gonna mention it happened.
They're just like, and this new attractive man will share the same bed as Joker because it's the cat. So there's just going to be a comedy
Like,
bit
oh
where
no, the cat's gonna turn into a hot guy at the.
and lay in bed with him. That's the gag.
Yeah.
Not quite reaching the level of gay panic, but still not very nice.
Yeah.
How do you know it was a joke? Maybe it was a sentimental moment.
No.
I'm going to entertain that it was that.
It's just the alternate social link that opens up for Morgana.
Nice.
So Nintendo revealed their E3 Direct time.
Yeah.
It will be June 11th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars.
Yeah,
That's
it's always got to be in the morning because of that's when E3 starts.
It's fucking
Like,
7
right after
a.m.
it's done.
here, isn't it?
Wait,
Or-
no, it goes
it's
the other way. It
11.
goes the other
Oh my
way.
God.
Yeah,
No, 11. It's 11 for us.
My
Yeah.
brain always entertains the worst time when I hear a time in another time zone. I'm like, fucking, that's 2 in the morning, isn't it?
It's okay. It's the same time they usually do it, so it's
Yeah.
like in
Right.
the morning on that Tuesday. So
Yeah.
It's still exhausting because we've experienced 2 days of E3, which is just nonstop, no sleep. And that's like, no,
yeah.
get up early.
Meanwhile,
enough for
they
this.
confirmed they're doing their usual thing of the direct, but also Splatoon 2 and Smash Bros. Ultimate World Tournament things at the E3.
Cool.
Yeah, expected.
Esports. Those are fun. I like having them in the background when waiting for,
Things.
like conferences and stuff.
It's good because usually what I do is like we don't eat before the Nintendo Direct, and then right afterwards we like go get some like Asian buffet, and then we come back and just chill. It's the chill day.
Typically bites us because then they are always like, oh yeah, today's doing after the direct, and we're gonna announce stuff in our E3 post game.
Yeah, but like a couple of times they just fucking it was garbage.
Yeah, and then one time it was
This
it was
time they don't have a
Metroid.
3DS
Yeah,
to like
true.
go, here's a Metroid game made by the Lords of Shadow guys.
It's passable.
Yeah.
And thus the highest mark on their record.
Yeah.
What are you
that
talking
is
about?
true.
Space Lords.
It's passable. It's still not as good as a Inti Creates game.
Now, speaking of Nintendo Directs, today the Sony had their second State of Play, which is their version of a Nintendo Direct. Phil should have said the real State of Play was happening next time, because he would have been right, because this one was very good.
I think I did say that.
You might have, then it came true. It was about 10 or 11 minutes long. I wanted to go through the various news point by point, but some of them are not super big news, so I imagine we won't spend
Here,
too much
let me
time.
unga that one out of the way. Days of Play themed PS4 Steel Gray system will be available in June.
Yeah, during the Days of Play, that was the most flaccid announcement for anything I have seen in a long time.
I mean, I'm not a super negative person when it comes to game news, but even I am like emotionally ebbing into, why are you showing me this?
They do that every year. Like, they've had the same thing for the past 2 years. They just never bothered putting in a video before. That they have to be doing these now. So they were like, let's show it in the video.
And it's not the Pro, it's the other version.
Yeah,
it's
because
worth note.
these things are always the dirt cheap version, like the $200 ones or something.
Celebrate the
Yeah.
Days of Play by buying a console that came out 5 years ago.
I was glad it wasn't the
Oh,
Pro. I was like,
it's-
dude, don't sell people the Pro now. Are you
I
insane?
mean, that's fair.
Well, no, Bob.
That's
They
fair.
have to sell the Pro now because that isn't going to fucking, the base one isn't going to run any
Exactly.
of the games coming out.
No,
That's-
it's fine.
No, it's not. It's not
we
fine.
have spent like 10 times more time they spent on the days of play PS4.
It doesn't even look nice this time. It was blue last time. It was nice looking.
Yeah, blue was fine. It looked okay. This time, nah.
You get 4 symbols.
The one game I thought was like the lowest one, because I just wasn't too interested, was Away, the survival series, where you play as like a small animal.
It's Tokyo Jungle.
True.
Yeah. It's like
Sans
Tokyo
Tokyo.
Jungle, and ended with a giant spider. It was scary.
I honestly, from the way they were describing, I was expecting you to be switching animals like in Tokyo Jungle, but it looks like you always play as that like mongoose thing.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I
It's
think
like
I
a
called
flying
it
squirrel or
koala.
something.
Yeah, it's a flying squirrel.
Flying mongoose.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. I'm not going to engage with you people at your terms for animals.
I saw a lot of people anticipating what is the new Sony Worldwide Studios game. Did not expect it to be Predator Hunting Grounds,
That game's gonna be
an
trash.
asymmetrical multiplayer game.
It's gonna be so bad. I want to believe it won't be. I want them to prove me wrong, but it's going to be somehow worse than Evolve.
When they said Sony Worldwide Studio, I'm like, can it be Ape Escape or something? No, it's Predator.
So is the Predator after you to steal your autism so he can evolve?
No, it's an
Stop
asymmetrical
it.
multiplayer game. No one's going to care.
Stop it. That movie ain't real.
That movie's very real.
I want to see this movie. It sounds amazing.
It does not sound amazing. It sounds miserable.
Now, a game I was mildly interested in, I don't know about anyone else, the Medieval remake.
Yeah, I'll buy it. All those remakes have been good.
It was a game I'd never played aside from like a demo disc in the 90s, but it looked better here than it has before.
It still is running so bad. Like,
Yeah, it definitely
it's
does
dire.
have a bit of a chunky frame rate.
And I don't know.
Coming out
I don't think
October
Medieval
25th.
has the fan base for this. Like, it's not.
It
Crash
doesn't.
Bandicoot.
It's like the C tier. It's like Tomba tier.
That's insulting to
Tomba is
Tomba. You take that
incredible. I
back.
will not hear besmirching of Tomba.
See? You hear anybody doing that for Medieval?
I'm just saying on like notoriety of people knowing it. You can like something and it can still be a who?
I kind of think
Yeah, Tom-
that it'll do fine just because I guarantee most people who bought Spyro had never played a Spyro game before that.
What?
No.
No.
That game came out, most people buying that are over like 25. I don't think they are.
I know plenty
The
of people
underground
about...
title known as Spyro.
I'm not saying that people don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know plenty of people who are like 23 to 25 who like love Spyro because they played it when they were 3.
And a bunch of younger kids also played Skylanders and jumped right into
that's
Spyro
true.
after
Oh,
that.
I
That's
forgot
true.
about Skylanders.
The gateway
Okay,
drug
I take it
that is
back.
Skylanders. But yeah, I actually know a lot of people who are like 20, like early 20s right now who love Spyro from back in the day. Like it was basically their first video game. Like,
That's so strange.
well, it's a good game.
And
It's kid friendly.
I like kid-friendly games. Those are neat. They're nice and
I think
wholesome.
Medieval has any of these positives.
No.
Like, you really can't spin it like that.
Look, here's my big old list of positives about Medieval, okay? Everyone ready? The main character's named Daniel. There we go. That is so subjective.
What a shame, Sir Daniel.
This is what a shame, Sir Daniel.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh man, this is like a bad version of Maximo.
I'm definitely going to buy it. Maximo is the bad version of Maximo.
Oh, what? You get out of here with Maximo was acceptable.
I need to play it again. I
No,
played
it
it like
wasn't.
once back in the day.
Maximo
first-
is a great game that I bought for $2 at a GameStop in 2005.
Let me put it this way, okay? I played Maximo back in the day, and I was like, this game's good, but it doesn't deserve the title of Ghosts and Goblins. Those games are way better. Then, years later, I went back and replayed Ghosts and Goblins, and I'm like, this is fucking trash. Wait a second. What does that mean about Maximo? And I haven't
Wow.
gone back to Maximo to
Hot
figure that
take.
out. Hey, the NES version of Ghosts and Goblins is trash. That is what I grew up with. That was the game I was referring to. The Genesis one is fine. The Super NES, not as much. But those aren't Ghosts and Goblins. Those are Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh, okay. But the first Maximo is like, feels like a 1997, we tried to copy Mario 64 and failed level of game. I don't know about the
can't
sequel,
believe-
Army of Zin or whatever it is.
I forgot it got a sequel.
But I remember playing Maximo and being like, this doesn't feel like a PS2 game. This feels like a game I would have played 5 years ago, or 4 years ago rather.
I thought it ran at 60-ish frames per second and was pretty smooth. Does anyone know if Maximo's on back compat? Because I'm about to just fucking go buy it if it is.
It is. I feel like it
Wasn't
is.
it only on PS2?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's only on PS2. That wasn't ever on Xbox or anything.
Yeah, no, it was only on PS2, but
Oh, you mean like the download
I mean,
game?
I mean
Is
Sony's
it one of the
version of
10
back
games?
compat.
I don't think it's gonna be one of those 10 games.
It was
It's
released on the
PS2
PlayStation
Classic on
3.
PS3. Yeah.
PS3. Okay, there we go. That's why I thought it was.
$10. So
Fucking PS3.
the game they opened State of Play with is Monster Hunter World Iceborne, the expansion that's gonna add a new story mode sequel to World, new region, new monsters.
It's adding G rank, which everybody was very mad was not in the base game.
More powerful monsters are going to appear in all the areas. As someone whose first Monster Hunter, I guess, was World, I assume there was at least 2 I clapped monster moments in that trailer, and I did not recognize them, but everything looked cool. I will play it.
I really worry it's going to be like, oh yeah, this is the new story content. I hope you ground the end of the last game to dust, or else you can't do any of this.
No, I imagine that's what Master Rank will be for, because that Master Rank is where you go to die.
Right. Hopefully they have a nice way to just progress. Because I beat that game and I did a little bit extra stuff, but I did not sit there and do the absurd quest lines they had after the end game. And I kind of want to play this new stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how much of the end game of that they want me to play before Iceborne, because I just hit credits, did a couple things, and stopped.
Yeah, that's definitely where I left it off too.
I felt real satisfied. That was like 60 hours for me of just...
Yeah, no, that game was long.
Yeah, it was long, but I had a great time with that, and I bounced off every other Monster Hunter game going, this looks like shit, this feels awful.
I had the extra motivation of, I need the Dante skin.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't stop until then.
I used the insect glaive, so I was just flying around the whole time, and game was just really entertaining.
I wonder if there are going to be new weapons for this. Did they? Do you know if that showed up in the trailer or anything?
As far as I could tell, they didn't really show anything that was like a new weapon type, or at least it wasn't conveyed in a way that I would have noticed, but it was the new region, a lot of story cutscenes, them going, oh man, they're discovering some stuff over here. Now some new monsters come in, and they showed like the first area and like a new monster for this game attacking a Rathalos. So it seems to just be new stuff to fight, new zone, new story stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be like a whole new weapon type. That seems like a little bit too big a thing.
Yeah. I should probably learn a different weapon in that game at some point. But the glaive is fun to just bounce on things' heads.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big investment of time to change over one weapons in that game, because it's just like, oh, well, go grind a whole different set of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I really didn't do it for multiple weapons, even though I kind of wanted to.
It took a bit. It took me like a good few hours to figure out the weapon that was the one that made me engage with the game in a way where I'm like, this feels great. But once you do that, I think it really starts to click.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So the final game that was shown, there's lore behind this one in the fact that they announced the state of play, and we're like, oh man, I wonder what it's going to be. And then Daniel Ahmad on Twitter hinted that there will be a third-party game that hasn't been shown off in years. It will appear, and he posted the Shinji Hashimoto laughing gif.
Oh my god.
And people are like, yeah, but we can't believe it, though, because it's the Shinji Hashimoto laughing gif. And then Shinji Hashimoto kept retweeting State of Play and quoting it, going, please? And I'm like, oh shit, maybe? And then State of Play's opening, instead of it being the PS4 turning on noise, it was the Final Fantasy VII sound effect.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And
That was pretty neat.
I almost had a stroke, and then they closed with Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer. It's about a minute long, showing gameplay, cutscene snippets. There's you could play as, more than one character. It was great to see this non-Cyber Connect 2 version of the game, because it's now internal development. And more will be shown in June. Nomura's statement that he made on it on the Final Fantasy Twitter was, yeah, we've almost finished all the preparations for information up to launch. And I said, oh, why are you saying up to launch? Is it getting close?
Yeah,
It's close. This game will be out in the next calendar year.
With that wording.
Yeah, it sounds like next year is that year for it. Because I've never heard that motherfucker say launch. It just came back. It's been 3.5 years since they did it.
Watch them launch it in November.
We say in the next year. It's actually in the next 10 months. This window is really small.
I will be stunned if it isn't this fall. It looks like it's done.
It does. Like, immediately I'm like, some of that hair looks bad. This is so real. Like when they show the shot of, I think it's Jesse, like, come on. I'm like, okay, that looks great, but not good enough to be fake. Then the gameplay looked really good, like Kingdom Hearts, but a bit crunchier, like a bit more impact.
This is the kind of trailer I would have expected to be like, this is all we have, see you in a year. The fact there's more in a month means this game is almost done.
Yeah. This is the...
I'm going to stand by. I'm going to say what I say every time we see this game again. This game is not 3 games. This game is 1 game.
Nope, it absolutely is not, Bob. You're an insane person.
No.
Nothing they showed us, nothing they have shown us is beyond what would be the first hour of that game.
I love Strife. No, they showed a segment of Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith at a party in like an underground.
Oh wait,
area.
they showed the Midgar sewers.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely, like, we've seen nothing past that point, but I don't think the Square is going to sit there and try and sell us 3 games. That's all I'm saying.
They are absolutely going to do that 100%, Bob. The game would be 200 hours long.
We will see.
Job postings and information describing the game as far back as 6 months ago said that the Japanese term they use basically is split parts. It's still going to be made in parts, but they maintain it will be about as long as a Final Fantasy game on each. There will be full games.
They said each part will be as long as like Final Fantasy 13.
Which I guess makes sense because a lot of scenes that were things you mash text through are not going to be full cut scenes. Areas are going to be much bigger. And they're adding shit because Sephiroth was in this trailer in a scene that never existed before.
That never exists. Well, that scene does exist. But Cloud just hears his voice in the original. And in this one, I guess he'll see him. So he doesn't effectively appear from nowhere and just kill the boss of Shinra.
Do you guys realize what the fuck this means? I'm gonna have to fucking actually play Final Fantasy VII before this remake comes out.
You
Sounds
sure
like a
are.
live stream.
Okay, fire up the stream.
Son of a bitch.
The PS4 version has that turbo mode and automatic limit break mode. We'll get that done in one.
That sounds exciting. I want to be there for that.
Yeah, no, that sounds thrilling.
This sounds thrilling, and I'm vomiting blood. Let's go.
I am 100. What I'm pretty sure we're gonna see at E3 is we'll see Shinra HQ stuff, because this first game is going to be you get out of Midgar. It either ends as soon as you get out of Midgar, or they'll do the Cloud flashback right after you get out, and that'll be the end of the game.
Maybe they'll come up with their own extra set piece to make it feel appropriate for it to end.
They could have Cloud fight Sephiroth in that flashback, and you get like a cool fight with Sephiroth that turns out to later be fake. Such some shit he made up.
It'll be wrong.
But that would be cool.
So we all need to clarify our stances real quick.
Sure.
Bob, it is not episodic is your stance.
Yes, it's not episodic. We might see some Nighter DLC.
Now,
but it
does three $60 games over the course of 6 years count as episodic?
Yes.
I don't think episodic is the right word for this game, because when I think of episodic, I think of this is 3 fucking hours long.
Yeah.
Well,
with this, it's just we made the old game that had a shit ton of content fleshed out. It's a trilogy now. And that's just the next part. I wouldn't necessarily, we're getting trapped in terminology. Never mind.
Right. I'm
getting mad at myself thinking about this.
You're game publishing this? You're like...
it's turning into my Twitter timeline. I gotta escape it.
Is it a service?
Is it a service? Please no, Bob. Please do not dredge up gas here. And feel...
Every ism you can think of.
Feel you believe that
not only is it episodic, what we saw and what we'll see at E3 is running on a PS5.
Congrats, you have topped the real Pokemon game comes out next year.
I'm not. No. Let me clarify. I am not saying this is I am not saying this is on a PS5. I'm not saying this is a PS5 game. It says PS4 at the end of the trailer. I'm saying what they're showing us is it running on a PS5, so it looks nicer.
It didn't look out of the realm of the possibility of like PS4 Pro to me necessarily.
Some of those shots, that cross slash.
Yeah, cross slash looked good. It was like crack for the eyes, but there were plenty of parts where I'm like,
I don't need to say anything about this because he said everything. So I don't.
You're right.
Look
Fucking
forward to
the real Final Fantasy VII's coming out when I'm dead.
Look forward to the weirdest episode of Pixel Bitching ever, where I go, "Is this the game I have in my hand?"
It's really unreasonable to say that they might be leaning towards the cross-gen game might be cross-gen.
I am saying that at this year's E3, they are not showing a game that ships in the next 10 months on PS5, and I don't think that's a crazy stance to say.
I don't think they're going to use a PS5 dev kit to show off their PS4 product.
Sony has been caught using PC footage for their PS4 games. Is that any different?
Yes, because a PC is a pre-existing piece of fucking hardware. The PS5 dev kit isn't remotely finalized.
Whatever.
Whatever, that's not the point.
I'm going to keep saying
point
insane
is,
things to upset KZ.
We're finalizing the tumor that's malignant in my brain.
The thing is, Feel stance
we
on
have
this
to,
is that
we have to talk about...
It is 3 DLC games, $60. It's 3 episodic games in as much as it's more than one. Sounds like KZ's on the same boat of this is multiple games,
I'm thinking
not
it's
one.
either 2 or 3 full-sized games.
Okay,
It's going to be 3.
Bob believes it is multiple games.
Wait, no, I don't.
No, it's one game.
No, you
One
think
game.
It's one big game. It's gonna fuck me in the ass. I'm so pumped.
I am
Going to bankrupt Square Enix. Thousands of people will lose their jobs and be miserable. No one will ever see the credits.
I am so bummed out that Square is crazy enough to do the thing Bob says they won't do because it's not good business. So I don't know which way to go on
They've
this.
called their shot since 2015.
They announced that back in 2015. We've had them go through different dev cycles, different developers completely. I don't think that they're willing to sit there and put a part 1 on this game.
They're still talking about it being multi-part last year.
Bob, it
we'll
can be
see.
multi-part so easy because the PS5 is just going to be backwards compatible.
Oh yeah, no. It's totally a reasonable business thing to do. It really is. I just don't know. There's nothing on Final Fantasy VII Remake that says 1.
Let me put it this way.
Midgar.
If there's a nation that is ready to be stuck in crunch hellscape for 3 years straight, churning out all 3 parts of this game,
That
it's
would
Japan.
not be
Or it's
enough
highly
time.
truncated.
Yeah, it's obviously.
Yeah.
Like I'm
It
in
looks
the camp.
the opposite of highly truncated.
I am
Looks
in the camp.
you could-
enhanced.
Look,
No,
Phil, you
what-
could
okay.
They made they made special environmental assets that were in no way implied in the original game for one random enemy from the original game.
Okay.
This shit is expanded insanely.
Okay, Bob, go ahead, and then I'll say what I have to say.
You could easily walk straight from Midgar into the town Cloud is born in. There could be no overworld. Period.
I don't think there'll be an overall, but that they're not going to skip 80% of the game. They flat out said they weren't.
Okay.
They said we are not skipping things.
I will be
that's
shocked.
Part of the reason why they were talking about the multi-part thing, because, they said that people would be upset if they skipped shit. So, instead, they're just adding shit. They're making it fatter.
I am going to be staggered if they do not cut or truncate at least 40% of Final Fantasy VII.
Nope. They said that they gave a list of things they explicitly weren't removing, and it was all this weird minor shit. I don't think they're taking out a thing.
I would like to note that there is a wiki for GigaBoots, and that anyone who wants to add any entries to things people said at various points can go over there and edit entries. I feel like that wiki needs more attention.
We'll see. Okay, I say they aren't cutting anything.
This is where the podcast finally got juicy after like 18 episodes.
I say they're cutting nothing. Dan says they're cutting 40%. We'll see who's closer to right.
No Price is Right
I believe
rules.
they're cutting at least 1% of content, which means that Price is Right rules, I'm pretty good.
They're cutting one thing, and I will call it right now.
Okay. Okay,
This will
Slugger.
not be in Final Fantasy
the real
VII
thing
Remake.
they're cutting is going
What-
to get cut next year.
What is not going to be in Final Fantasy VII Remake, Mr. Feel? What is the one thing?
That scene in the Honeybee Inn where 100 oiled, sweaty, buff men run in and talk to Cloud, and it's implied they wrestle naked.
Okay, 1, I hope that scene's there because it was going to be funny before. 2, it's going to be even funnier now.
I think Nomura might have explicitly said they're cutting that already.
but it would be so fucking funny.
I think it might be in, and when it happens, I'm just gonna play clown music in my video and just show Feels Twitter account.
Because I think he said we're not cutting the cross dressing. We might cut that though.
Okay.
What if they replace it with something?
Bob,
What's up?
what do you
I
think
can see
they're
them
gonna
replacing it. They said they were
cut?
replacing stuff.
I want Bob to list something that they're going to cut from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Probably most of Enor, whatever that village you get.
Endorse from Star Wars.
I know that village you get Red 13 in, where it has the tactical RPG thing.
You don't get Red
that's
13 there. You
cut.
get Red 13 in you get Red 13 in Shinra's HQ.
Yeah, but you go to
Condor Canyon.
Yeah, Condor Canyon.
No, not Condor Canyon. What the hell? No, it's I'm getting confused with it's Condor something.
Yeah, whatever that place
Anyway.
is. It's Red 13's
Fort
home or something.
Condor.
So they're going to cut. They're going to cut Red 13's home.
They're not going to cut the whole thing. They're going to cut most of the content
We're getting
from
confused.
Okay.
We're getting confused. We're thinking of Fort Condor, which is a totally optional thing that has nothing to do with the main game at all, except for one part. Red 13 is from Cosmo Canyon, which is a pretty big story.
There we go.
Probably won't be cut.
No,
They'll probably
the
cut
Condor.
stuff like that, potentially, like where they change the gameplay entirely.
Yeah, like that whole
Or
thing's going.
Oh man,
But
that
at the
sounds
s- at
like
the same
at
time-
least 1% of the game.
Then there's also going
At the
to
same time, Fort Condor is part of the main story for like 1 second. And if they have to make some weird gameplay mode for that, why not just make it a mini game?
Because you
Yeah,
can
but they
just
could also change how
do
that
it.
works and make it a new thing that uses the same gameplay systems
You
that
can make a
you do normally.
cutscene.
You could make a cutscene, or you could just make characters fight in normal vanilla combat.
Also, turns out, guys, you can rewrite it. A thing they are absolutely going to do to this game.
right.
I think the thought
yeah,
that they're
gapped.
going to present Final Fantasy VII completely untouched with this fidelity is 0% chance.
One thing I don't want them to cut is the chocobo farming, but I'm like, that's probably
I mean,
gonna get cut.
chocobo farming needs to be there, and so does the gold saucer. If they cut
Yeah.
either of those, I'm going to be...
Right, those are the two things that are quintessential.
I feel like breed the gold chocobo to get Knights of the Round is too iconic a thing for them to cut.
But it's hard to, like, if they end up cutting the whole open world, then what
Yeah.
does the gold chocobo do? Like, I guess
You just
like,
get on
like,
its back one day, and then it takes you via cutscene to a magical
right.
place.
It's like Final Fantasy X, where there's just a map where you select where you want to
Yeah,
go.
no,
like,
no,
you
it's
know,
just
lots
like,
of-
yeah.
Okay, here it is. You go to the chocobo farm. You walk up to the golden chocobo, the one you raised, the one you spent this whole time breeding, and you hit X, and its head cranes at you, and a pop-up says, "Do you want to go?"
What if they do like not a like big open world, but they do like small zones that you just run through, and then eventually it leads to an area, but not
like
like a
the
large,
bouncer. Got it.
The new Final Fantasy VII is going to be just like the bouncer.
Phil, is there anything else you would like to say about Final Fantasy VII?
I think this remake will be 3 parts. Each one will cost $60.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably come out 2 years apart once they start coming out, maybe 3. I could see the last one coming out at the end of the PS5's lifetime.
So you're talking about this being Ava.
It will be psychotic in scope. We will look back on this and have disbelief that Square Enix did it.
I'm excited for Final Fantasy VII. I noticed in the trailer when Cloud's fighting, you see like 2 little colored dots on his sword where the materia is. So it looks like that's in. It might like give you special effects on your attacks and stuff.
It'd be really upsetting if they took out the materia system.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
people
We have-
totally found that there's totally materia in.
We have the
in,
full
like, their
spectrum
weapons.
here. We have a guy who's like, they're cutting nothing, and a guy who's like, thank God materia is here.
It's like, okay, they have character switching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Kingdom Hearts-esque stuff with like the shortcut menu looks basically the same. But what got exciting is then you have the characters' names next to it. So it looks like there's just straight up easy active switching in that game, which is...
I feel like
That'd
enough people bitched about the vanilla release of 15 where you could only play as Noctis that they're like, okay, let's just make everybody playable.
Also, Nomura made Final Fantasy Versus 13, and all of his trailers showed active character switching in that game, and that was a core thing he wanted.
Oh no, is it the
so
Revenge
yes, this
Part
is
2?
revenge.
I'm honestly like, I need to watch it more, but I'm not 100% sure that's like active like Kingdom Hearts combat. Like that could be.
You think hitting
It looks
L2
like
and
a
R2 is
slower
going to
version.
switch like to give them commands?
No, I think that you'll switch between them fully, but I think that the combat might play out where you get to kind of move the character around, but then they automatically like jump to attack the enemy when you hit the button. And
They described it as a mix at the time. This is 2015 in like December or some shit.
So trust
They
nothing.
described it
Right.
as a mix between Kingdom Hearts and Dissidia in what they were looking to
Oh
do.
my god, I get to fly.
I'm excited to see more of it. I'm
I
fine with
feel like they're
like,
deliberately not showing certain stuff with that command menu because it looked really weird in this trailer. And I think they're just saving a lot of that stuff for the June.
Yeah, deliberately not showing things like Tifa making everyone very upset because
she'll be in the next trailer.
Yeah, they're
Like,
saving
yeah,
her.
it's
She's too
absolutely.
big of a reveal for State of Play.
Yeah.
The whole like marketing is making a lot more sense where they are setting up that Final Fantasy VII concert that is a day before Square's show. So they'll probably put up a short version of their trailer there, revealing some stuff to get the fans hyped, and then some big stuff at their Square press conference. This might be their good conference. They haven't had one of those before.
Right? No.
Oh, I thought of another thing they're cutting.
Then, okay.
In Cloud's flashback, they will cut out the part where you can look through Tifa's underwear and you get the item orthopedic underwear. That will be cut.
Yeah, I think they might cut stuff that would create articles. Yes.
But yeah, I'm kind of fine no matter which way it turns out. Like if it is 3 games, if it's 1 game, I'm fine with it either way.
Like I will get mad if like it comes out and there's like a light amount of content that is, and it's still splitting it up. However, they said it was going to be like that. I'm like, all right, I'll take it at face value until it's not true. But whatever, I'm buying it anyway. So it's like I will buy it and be mad, or buy it and be like, yes, thank you.
I just don't want the timeline where I have to fight against this fucking remake because that's the most exhausting thing in the world. Where it's like that you made a remake that is just worse than the original, and now I have to be that dickhead being like, no, play the original. No,
I don't want
better.
to unfollow you because I will totally do that. I don't need that in my life.
And then to represent the other end of the spectrum, I suppose, I'm here to say I watched that trailer and my brain didn't light up a single neuron. I was like, yeah, that's what I expected. Let me know when you got something new.
Haven't you never played Final Fantasy VII?
I haven't played it to completion.
Oh.
I have played it. I've experienced it through other media and whatnot, but nothing in that trailer has me going, yeah. It's more like, you did that thing you announced forever ago. Show
It
me.
wasn't really even that long ago. Like, if this comes out this year, it had a shorter than normal for Square Enix development cycle.
Normal for Square
That's the
Enix is not
insane thing.
acceptable in life.
Yeah, but the gap between them telling me anything about it was pretty insane. Like even comparing it to Kingdom Hearts 3 had a much smaller
This was
window.
announced at the launch of the PS4, basically
No, it wasn't, Bob. This is it was announced in 2015.
4 years ago.
I'm comparing the gap of time between a new thing being shown to me.
I know, but Bob
I'm
said
not
it was
talking
announced.
about development time.
I know Bob was saying it was at launch, though, and it wasn't. People like to pretend like it was, but it was 2 years after.
Yeah, Bob, don't you remember? It was
Oh.
announced with the PS3 tech demo in 2005.
That's true.
You know, you're right.
They started development on Kingdom Hearts 3 right after 2 came out, so I don't know why it took 15 years.
Oh my god.
Now, we forgot the most likely outcome. This game isn't real and it's never going to come out until 2037 because I'm a cynical dickhead who won't let anybody be excited for anything ever.
That sounds like a great Twitter feed you're running there. Oh man. Is someone out there saying that? I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Don't let them trick you into getting excited.
Don't believe Ondor's lie.
I made a mistake. I watched Giant Bomb watch this state of play.
Oh, why did you do?
I'm like,
I love
gotta
Giant
know.
Bomb. That's the last thing I'd fucking do.
It was in my feed because I'm still subscribed, and I clicked to that part, and they're like, all right, so they just fitted the Final Fantasy 15 combat system onto 7, and I went, I closed, and I got whiplash.
Yeah,
can't.
no, I'll say it again. I love Giant Bomb. That is the last fucking thing I would do.
Well, again, Final Fantasy 7 was a good time to finally get out of the JRPG thing.
Look,
Brad doesn't represent them all.
He doesn't represent all of them, and he probably didn't even mean what he said. I go through this every now and again with Eric.
Oh no, Eric is our Brad.
Sometimes, oh, don't say that! That's casting a curse! He'll never escape the gravitational pull of your GigaBoots Brad.
Oh no!
I mean, look, all I'm saying is sometimes people are expected to be funny or insightful, so they say things they shouldn't.
But that wasn't funny or insightful.
That's not the point. The point is he may have thought at some point.
Eric is a valid lad. I will not insult him on.
Oh, I'm not talking about Eric. I'm talking about what Brad said.
Oh shit! I guess he is Brad. Fuck.
Anyway.
Hey, Dan, what do you got going on next week?
In the next week, we, of course, have multiple Castlemania videos coming out per day when you average it out. We are going to be hitting the really good part of Castlevania. We're going to be hitting, like, Rondo of Blood. We're going to be hitting Bloodlines. Super Castlevania 4. It's going to be really, really good. Castlevania Chronicles is actually really cool. I kind of changed my stance on that game in that video. Kinda.
That's always nice.
Yes, and of course, all of these are coming out much faster, much more easily because I fixed the technical problem.
It should have been called Giving It a Chance. Oh no, we could have had another win.
No.
It's okay, Bob. I haven't titled the video.
Oh, you're right.
You just got to film that thing.
No.
You know that thing where you're like, I'll give it a chance. Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yep, you nailed it.
You give it a chance. I'm in 4K. Yeah.
Either way, I can append videos to other videos, so I'll do that if I feel like it.
I love giving you ideas.
That is, yeah, and we also should have Symphony coming out in the next week. We're hitting the real good part of Castlevania month. Like, I feel like
you're getting out of the meme games.
The tides started changing once we started playing Castlevania 3, and I think like it's all good from here. And then we hit the PS2 era where it gets a little dicey, but the portable games are great.
I'm gonna have fun playing Lament again.
I'm glad you are. I am thrilled to do that video. That video was almost a let's play.
Just do it as a stream all at once.
Don't put that curse on us. I don't have any Sundays
Curse of darkness too.
It's okay, Bob. We'll just do all of Lament of Innocence on a random day of the week, all in one stream, starting at like 10 p.m. when you get out of work. That'll go great.
No.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff coming out in the next week. And past that, there's a lot of funny stuff and good stuff like Aria of Sorrow. So please stay tuned to Castlemania. KZ, what do you have happening in the next week?
It's going to be crunching out this Kingdom Hearts marathon. I got a lot of the issues resolved with it, so I'm able to share my screen properly, give everyone the game. That's been good. It's led to some really good moments throughout, having some friends questioning what are oats. That was something that came up at some point.
How does that happen? How do you find these people?
I don't know. The hope is that I can get through these streams without other internet celebrity controversies taking over my streams. Hopefully that'll continue. Be normal.
Every single KH game, somebody gets canceled.
I don't need this happening because eventually it's going to be you.
No, it'd be Dan.
But I'll be continuing to work on that, and that's what I have going on.
You just need to send that guy who doesn't know what oats are that video of Alton Brown explaining all the different kinds of oats.
Okay, I'll do it.
This is educational.
Mr. Field, what do you have going on in the next week?
I guess on Saturday I'll probably stream the Hat in Time DLC because I've been excited for that.
Cool. That's my favorite Mega Man game.
Oh, also that'll have happened by the time you hear this. Other than that, I don't know. We're at the point where I don't think I can beat multiple of them in under like 4 or 5 hours. I'm also trying to think of a way to weasel out of playing 9 because I really hate 9 a lot.
9's raw.
It's not canon.
There's so many parts of 9 I think about and I have a stroke, like the helicopters or the room in the Wily Fortress that has the lasers you have to shoot with the concrete shot and then climb.
I remember that.
Or our mini parts, so I might try to weasel out of that by playing the X Games or Legends, but I'll think of something. I will continuing to stream Mega Man games intermittently on Wednesdays and Sundays, mostly. Also, if anybody else gets canceled, I will appear in KZ's stream like a phantom, cackling to pull out the writ of execution.
I was waiting for you to finally weasel your way into a stream, because you went in there and started stealing my public access clown images to get clout. But once someone gets canceled, you're like, I gotta get in here.
Yeah, I entered KZ's stream and just said a certain individual is a pro at infidelity.
You're very good at that.
Yes, my debuff for being clever is that I have Alex Jones-esque tirades where I say things are on consoles that aren't real yet.
Hey, it's every 6 episodes, you come up with something interesting, all right?
What did I come up with other than the Pokemon one? Isn't this there are only 2? Is there a third one I'm forgetting?
Look, these are the 2 peaks. That doesn't mean there weren't other heights in the valley.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sometimes you just go, and we don't make note of all of them, but sometimes we reflect on them and write them in our journal.
I'd like to know, I've been looking up orthopedic underwear this entire fucking episode.
Dan,
I'm like, what the fuck is up with this bit in Final Fantasy VII? And I am now watching that really good series from that guy on Kotaku, where he talks about, in the original translation, it did not say orthopedic underwear.
Oh,
It's basically mature underwear.
Did you know that the Gawker sites have lost 70% of their value in the past 3 years?
Wow. I imagine
I don't care.
Imagine them having that much value to lose, period.
Whatever, they'll be bought by Telemundo or something.
That had already happened, KZ, and it sold them for less than a third of what they were bought for.
I thought that was just Univision.
Univision is basically Telemundo.
That's racist.
They're both Mexican TV companies. Also, late news, Disney put $400 million into Vice and then said, yeah, that money's just gone in their financials. We got nothing from that.
Holy shit. Okay. That's, But I'm very excited for the 3 immaculate parts of Final Fantasy VII. I'm really glad we established that here today.
I'm happy for the opening cutscene.
All running on PS5 at the moment. Believe in it.
I'm hoping. So how long do you think the load times are going to be on the not PS5?
Yeah.
Well, that game's still running on Unreal, so please be excited.
What you're not expecting is that there will be many crevices throughout the game that Cloud has to slowly shimmy through.
In the fake gameplay thing that was not real at all, that they showed like a month after they showed it at E3, there was one of those in there.
There was like a shimmy through this wide.
That's how you know it's a video game.
What
That's how you know it's a video
what
game.
if Nomura is just a psychopath and he's like, no, there's a loading screen. there's just a 90-second loading screen.
He hasn't released any other games recently with a 90-second loading screen, has he, Bob?
Midgar Instagram.
I'm just gonna laugh and not
Materia book.
If he does something where you need to load to get to your item menu, like that dumb menu or cooking menu in Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
I'll be upset.
At least they're loading in a new mini game for that.
Yeah, just replace cooking with snowboarding.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to get to see their Instagram or their Twitter or whatever, and it's going to be people gossiping about her orthopedic underwear.
Good.
What a great game. Definitely worth $180 at bare minimum.
If it's the content of 3 full games, hell yeah.
Assuming it isn't actually 4 games.
I mean, I'd be down for an after story.
Because they never said how many it would be.
Can we end the podcast? Like, come
No.
on.
No.
Right?
No. You're not allowed.
No,
Don't
I
forget we
want
need
to
that part with
more.
Genesis.
Wait, what'd you say, Bob?
Don't forget we need that part with Genesis in there.
No, that was DK.
Yes,
They explicitly
Gact.
said
Can we
it's
talk
gone.
about Gact?
Gak was a hero by saying, no, you cannot use my likeness anymore, so all those parts are fucking time zoned out of existence.
No, he needs to come back. He's raw. Raw is.
Well, clearly this has gone on long enough for KZ to get delusional, so we have to end this episode. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future.